So in video one, we talked about the church has been called to make disciples. As followers of Jesus, you and I have been called to make disciples. We talked about the four-chair model. And the four-chair model gives us a picture and gives us an image of what that process might look like. And if you didn't watch the first video, I would encourage you to go back. It gives a summary of the four chairs. But I want to dig into chair number one. Chair number one is the seeker chair. It also might be called the lost. People who are in chair one do not have a relationship with Jesus Christ. They could be far from God. They could be running from God. They might be ambivalent, not researching, but not mad at God. And then you might have some people actually interested in searching, seeking God. But they do not have a relationship with God. That's the people in chair one. So how do we connect with people in chair one? What's our approach when it comes to interacting with people in chair one? First of all, I just believe we need to have a burden for these people. And we need to understand their lostness. We need to understand the gravity of them being dead in sin. And outside of a relationship with Christ, they're headed to hell. We need to get that, allow that to sink into our thoughts and in our hearts. And so that we lean in to people who are sitting in chair one. Second, I think we need to understand God is a missionary God. God sent Jesus to leave heaven, to enter earth, to live amongst humanity who needed a Savior. He came to where humanity lived. He entered their world. He entered their context. He entered their culture. And when he did, he began to build relationships. He began to interact with them. He loved them, and he always pointed them back to the Father. Man, that's our model. People in chair one, they need people to enter their world and build relationships with them. People in chair one, they need Christians in their life. What does that mean for us? That means us Christians, Jesus followers, we need to be involved in the lives of people who are in chair one. That's my question. Who in your life would be in chair one? Who do you know that is in chair one? They are outside of a relationship with Jesus Christ. Here at Bacon Heights, we have something called Oikos and Beyond. Oikos, your sphere of influences, your friends and family members, your neighbors, your coworkers, your acquaintances, people that are in your life. Who in your life would be in chair one? I would encourage you to come up with a list, write names down that people in your life who are in this chair. Begin to pray for them. Begin to develop relationships with them. Lean in to those relationships. If we're going to have any success, any accomplishments of reaching people in chair one, we need to know who these people are in our lives. The second thing is we need to know how to share our faith. You, as a follower of Christ, you need to know how to share your story, your faith story. If I was to ask you, how would you share the good news of Jesus Christ to someone? Would you know where to start? Would you know how to engage in that type of a conversation? Or would you be able to say, I don't really know where I would begin? If we are really interested in reaching people in chair one with the gospel, then we need to be able to share the gospel. At Bacon Heights in the Commons, we have these pamphlets. It's the Three Circles pamphlet. It's just one strategy, but it is a strategy. And if you don't have a strategy, man, I would encourage you to come and pick one of these up, and it'll give you the verses, and it'll give you the strategy that's used in this model, this way of sharing your faith. But we need to know how to share our faith. And then we need to understand, I love the farming principle, the farming model, the farming picture. A farmer will need to break up the ground and plow the ground before they plant the seed. And after the seed is planted, then they water the seed, and then it grows up, and then eventually we have the harvest. When we begin to engage in the lives of people who are living in Chair 1, and we begin to invite them to come and see the Messiah, we perhaps could be breaking up some of that plowed ground. Or maybe we would be planting the seed or watering. And maybe we would have the opportunity to see a harvest and see them come into this relationship with Jesus Christ. It's a journey. And your part in the journey perhaps is just breaking up that plowed ground. And you never get to see them enter into a relationship with Jesus, but you're plowing the ground or you're planting a seed. Are you committed to the journey? Are you committed to the process? As we love people who are in Chair 1. They're not a project. We do not need to see them as a project of, well, you're my project. No, they're people loved by God. And we're motivated out of love to reach out to people in Chair 1, to love them, to develop relationships, to enter their world, to point them to Jesus, and share the gospel with them when God gives us an opportunity. May we not forget Chair 1. And may we not neglect people who are living in Chair 1. In fact, may we have a passion to connect with, to love, to enter into the world of people living in Chair 1. It's the first step of the process of making disciples. But we can't skip this chair.